Hi, I'm Beep, and like many artists, I have decided to partake in Artfight this year. It's my fifth year, and for the first time round, I'm aiming to do weekly recaps of Artfight as it goes on. This is the first week, so let's get into it. Go Crystals! First victim is Robao. Robao actually followed me first before the fight began, and looking at their page, I just had to attack them. Which means my first attack of 2025 was a friendly fire, and I wanted to start strong, so I made some ship art of their OCs, Mort and Rusty. Robao has a lot of lore and details on these two, and I wanted to draw them in a cute, wholesome couples pose. And in their lore, it says that Mort loves to pick his loved ones up, so I had the perfect pose in mind. Robao really liked this as well, like how it turned out, and that's what really matters. And I had a lot of fun with it, creating the textures of the background scenery. Like, I should really draw flowers more, because I do love drawing flowers. I just don't have opportunity to draw them often, certainly not in this detail. It was a bit of a struggle to get the anatomy right for the pose, especially with Rusty, because I couldn't hide it with a skirt, so it was a bit of a struggle. I agonized over that for a time, but I got it eventually, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I went down a similar route with this next attack on Legend-DR. I attack this artist every year, and I just adore her art style, and she's always like so nice. I wanted to make a gentle and tender moment between Philomene and Lilibeth, two of her OCs. Philomene is the taller one with long ginger hair. I took care to make sure I got a correct skin tone for the two OCs, and I had fun creating the scenery. For the flowers on the tree, I used one of the Procreate blood brushes, which is also what I used for some of the flowers for the previous attack on Robao as well. And look at the revenge I got. Oh, she always like knocks it out of the park. Like, holy moly, I could have cried. I was absolutely floored by this and I feel so lucky. And she did it so fast as well. Next, I chose to attack one of my friends, Jurassic. I wanted to challenge myself, so I chose to draw his Five Nights at Freddy's OC Disco. I'm not a FNAF fan, but when I read that Disco was a dance instructor, I had a vision of a Jane Fonda style poster like this one. I'm just glad I was able to draw a robot horse, honestly, because I need to practice mech drawings and stuff, and I love horses. I'm a My Little Pony fan. It was unavoidable, or inevitable, I should say. Next up is another artist who I attack every year because they are just one of my favourite artists of all time. It's Goat Paste. I saw on his characters list that he had his pet cat who is no longer with him, so I decided to do something a little different this year, and I'm going to cut to it now. So this is a video documenting my progress of a traditional attack. This is the first time of doing Artfight. I've been doing Artfight for like 5 years now. This is the first time that I'm doing a traditional attack, and it's a full-on painting. So I'm going to be showing you a little bit of how I do it, like my process when it comes to paintings, because it's a pet portrait. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I've got my setup, I've got my paints, I've got my paint brushes, I've got my paint holder, paint palette thing. I use a used Ferrero Rocher case because it's cheap, you can wash it, so it's reusable, and it's the perfect size to put the paints in. Like, I'll show you. Get some white paint here. Look at this. That, oh my god, it's so easy, so cool. I've got some toilet paper to wipe my brushes and stuff. I got the reference picture. Wait a minute, that shouldn't be there. Okay, now I'm ready. Augustus the Clown is going to help me today. I realise that what I just showed you is like a bit chaotic. I know the way that I paint and have a setup is like crazy. I also paint on the floor because I don't really have a desk. So I paint on the floor with bad posture, yes, of course. So that's crazy, but I'm just gonna switch the camera, and this is like the palette that I'm going to be working with for the cat, just for the cat, for Lou. And another thing that I didn't mention about using an old Ferrero Rocher case as a colour palette thing, you can cover it and keep your paint fresh. How cool is that? Come on now. Oh my god. Look at that. That's so good. I'm a genius. You know, what can you say? I'm a genius. Anyway, I am going to start painting now. So, whoopsie, but I kind of forgot to track my process because I just got really stuck into painting. But here is the finished painting. Yeah, very proud of it, very happy with how it's turned out. I'm also going to offer to send it to the artist who it is for on Artfight. And yeah, I think this is probably I don't think I'll do another traditional attack because it just takes too long. But yeah, this is it. Right, bye. Ta-da! I just love how this turned out, and Goat Paste was really happy with it, so I'm very happy as well. Also, look at this revenge. Oh, I love it. It's just great. This is a quickie for Vermin Valley. Their style reminds me of vintage comic books. I love their shapes, and I actually found their profile when I was looking at another artist's profile. This piece is super simple. It was a nice opportunity to use some of my felt stars, and I like the mixed media feel. It looks really cool, I think. This next artist is called Suburbanite. It's another artist that I aim to attack every year. I attacked them last year as well, and all of their characters are really rich. They're just really cool and interesting and detailed, and have interesting designs and everything. Originally, I had a different vision in mind for their character, the wife, of like a vintage housewife ad poster type thing, but instead I just went simple with a more abstract background that is supposed to represent kitchen tile. And I got back this revenge, and I'm just over the moon with this. It's so cool. I'm so happy that people are drawing Locke. I didn't think people would, and it just makes me so happy. This next artist, Matthew Doodles, is a first-year art fighter. Their OCs are all so fun, so I decided to make this piece with rubber hose anatomy. I always love it when I get the opportunity for this style. And to add something a little extra to the piece, I added a Rizzo print texture overlay, and I think it works really well with the vibe. Yeah, I really like these silly monkeys. These silly monkeys doing business. Wow, is this my first pony of 2025? I love spooky vibes, so Feefowl's OC Spooky Twirl was the obvious choice to make when it comes to choosing which character to draw. The revenge that they made me, like, it nearly took me out. They got me back so good. Like, I'm so grateful for this little animation. It is so wonderful and charming. I love it. For the next attack for Baptiste B, it was simple and fun. I had a lot of fun with their different expressions. Kind of wish I went with the third face that I tried, but I think the piece still works, and in the moment I thought it would be funnier if the big Brad had a small face and the small Brad had a big face that takes up most of his head/body. Next attack is on Yellow Submarine. They have a really cool OC called Sardine, who is an alien that likes sea and marine life. I thought this would be a good opportunity to for another like mixed media piece, so I drew Sardine digitally, and then I added traditional drawings of fish that I'd done in my sketchbook, and like strategically placed them about so it looks nice and sort of like floaty or whatever. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I also got a revenge. Look how Locke looks, like it's so cool. I love what they've done with my OC here. It's like, it's just so beautiful. I love it. This next attack on the Sign Painter had a bit of a rocky start. I couldn't really figure out the anatomy of the OC's outfit, like puffy pants and a sash, my greatest enemy so far. So I had to rethink it a bit, and I'm glad I did, because what came out of it was this like tapestry style piece that I think creates like a nice moment for the OC, just like a peaceful, tranquil sort of thing, enjoying the music, sitting on a rock. And the Sign Painter said that it looks like it came directly out of a children's novel, which I'm quite happy about that, actually. It was a very nice compliment. I had a lot of fun with this piece. Cute little mouse bard is all I'll say on that. I had to attack this next character from Alcoholic. It's a luck dragon. I also have a luck dragon OC. It's a very different take on luck dragon to Alcoholics, but the kinship is still there. Took me a few tries to get the tail right, but I got there eventually, and I also decided to close Caspian, which is the name of the OC's mouth, in the end, because I didn't know what colour Caspian's tongue was, and I didn't want to guess, so I thought it was best to close the mouth. It also looks cuter, I think. I also chose to have Caspian float above a beach because in his description it says that he likes to go to the beach and collect like trash and turn it into little trinkets for people and stuff, and for himself. Next is another quick attack, this time for Whimsical Dragon. They have a very cute character called Lesbie, and I had fun with the background on this one, and it was also nice to use a brush that I don't use often, one of the painting brushes, so it was really relaxing attack to do. Moss Mitivi was next, and they have such beautiful and soft art style. I chose to draw their character Flora. I think I could have done more with this piece, or perhaps less, because you could argue it's a bit cluttered, but I think for what it is, like what I have done, it looks effective and it has the correct like intensity and vibe that I was trying to go for. I struggled a bit like deciding what sort of colour, like overall colour vibe to go with. I was gonna like stick to green or something, or like do a contrast in the background with blue, but I think sticking with the red sort of overall red colour was the right move. This next one is a big one. I love Peace and Love 26's art. I follow them on their Insta, which is Jamalamis, I think, and I just couldn't decide which of their characters to draw, so I drew multiple. I had this really cool idea to have one of their next gens, Moon River, like have it so it was as if Moon River was creating the dreams of the other next gen characters, because one of Moon River's abilities is that she writes down dreams in her journal and she can like make them happen or something like that. So I just thought it would be cute and like a good way to connect the 3 drawings that I ended up doing. And I really like how it turned out. Plus it's like it's good practice for when I decide to make comics. For the second drawing I had to I decided to design a dragon form for the OC Treasure, because Treasure has skill in transformation magic and they have dreams of becoming a dragon, so I thought it would be cute. Yeah, very happy with how this turned out. And Peace and Love 26 was happy as well. This next artist's page is so cool. Squidge. Like, not gonna lie, I was a little intimidated because their art style is a lot different to mine, but I pushed past that and I'm really glad I did, because I need to practice more perspective and exaggeration and stuff. So I wanted to make like a cool DJing piece, like the ones you see on Pinterest with the big hand and in front, and so it's like playing with distance and forced perspective. And the ones you see on Pinterest are like in that comic book style with halftone texture. So that's the sort of vibe that I wanted to go for. I wanted to like make something like just cool and with interesting shading and whatnot. And I think it's successful. I really like how I was able to do the big hand in front, because I normally struggle with that sort of thing. This next attack is for the town fool. It was a bit of a challenge because my art style isn't really like how I would describe scary, but I wanted to push it a bit and draw one of Townfall's freaky, like demon-like OCs. It was very different to draw an OC that uses mostly black in their design, because a lot of my OCs are very colourful, but it was a fun different, and it was a good exercise to try and draw like a really sharp, freaky character. Another pony, this time for Beer. I'm not sure how to say their name, but this is their handle. This pony is like a clown, so I had to draw her. I just had to draw her. Her name's Wow Factor, and I used a photo of cake for the cake, not only because I think it creates an interesting effect, but also because I'm kind of lazy. I'm just kind of lazy, so I did that. Yeah. I like, it was nice to do just like a simple background, and I think it works for the vibe of this OC as well. This is the first revenge that I've done. I normally do revenges at the end of the month, but I thought doing a couple revenges would be a nice little break from attacks. This is what I got from Polarchrome. It's just so adorable, and I was really drawn to their OC Coastline, so I decided to draw them. I don't really draw feral OCs often, so it was really nice to get the chance to practice. This is the other revenge that I decided to do, and I wanted to do something fun with this one. Fishy Funny attacked me with this lovely drawing of my OC Daisy, and they have this beautiful OC called Bric-a-Brac. On their ref sheet there's a stamp, like a stamp style little picture, so I had this idea of drawing Bric-a-Brac on a stamp, and I actually used one of the stamps in my collection for the template, and for the flower background I used one of my tea cards from my collection of tea cards. And this was really fun. I might make this a commission option in the future because I really like how it turned out and it was a lot of fun to do. Getting back to attacks, this one is for Nakumi and the OC is called Samosa. I love green. Nakumi said that they wanted people to really play with Samosa's poses and proportions, like make her look crazy. So that's what I tried to do. I wanted it to look intense and insane, and spiky. For the texture in the background, I used a picture of the ground that I took, like the ground at a train station that I took. And I think it adds a nice interesting element to the artwork. I'm not sure, I mean, it adds something at least. This next artist, Pixie Anara, is another first year art fighter, and at the time of recording this video they only have 4 attacks, so get on them, people watching this video. And that's 4 attacks, including this one that I'm working on right now. I started this first version, but it wasn't, like, I wasn't vibing with it, so I decided, like, I can do better. So I started again, and, like, I wish I kept the winking eye, but, like, instead of having 2 open eyes, I wish I'd kept 1 winking eye because I think it looks cute. But I like how I made the potion bottle look really big, like, in comparison to the rest of it. Like, it's that sort of forced perspective again, like, I'm just trying it out. And for the texture of the potion spill, I used a combination of tissue paper from my own supplies and an image of crystals that I got from Google. This version, like, it just feels more my style, and it feels more me and more expressive, and I'm much happier with it. Last attack of this video. Daisy the Goat is another artist that I attack every year, and they have super cute OCs, and the ones that I liked in particular this year were Lola, Little, Daffodil and Pepper. Lola owns a stuffed toy hospital where Daffodil and Pepper work as doctor and nurse respectively, and Lola takes in damaged toys, fixes them up until they're ready to return to their owners. And I thought it would be cute to incorporate one of my real life stuffed toys, Max the dog, who I've had for years. The cubbyhole wall of yarn was a last minute idea because I didn't want the art to be too plain. Like, I didn't want to just have Lola and the doctor and nurse just against a plain background, or just like a wallpaper or something. So I think this adds, like, a nice element of realism and makes the characters seem more real. When I was finished, I messed with the gradient map. If you know, you know. And this was to bring more warmth to the piece, and hopefully I succeeded in that. And that's a wrap on week 1. Hope you enjoyed. If you didn't, thanks for watching anyway. Gotta get back to the fight, so I'll see y'all next week, I guess. Bye!